Welcome back. Last time I was speaking on the first video I done was called What Happened to Us as Children Growing Up Within Our Home and Environment, and the things that we'd learned through sight and sound. Today we're talking about thinking, the way we'd learned to think, what it's done to us, the damage to us, how we think continuously the same things on a daily basis, and also how we react to our own thinking. Society uses a word like addiction, that I don't agree with. I say we depend on certain things to kill the emotional pain that we're going through. So to me, thinking, if anything is an addiction, it's your thinking, and it's the king of all addictions is thinking. And this is what this wee topic's about, thinking, the king of addictions. I've learned through being called an addict, alcoholic, and all the horrible words and stigma that comes with that through this word addiction. But really I was struggling with mental health problems, and over the tens of thousands of people I've worked with over 28 years, I've experienced its mental health. Society gave it addiction. But to me, my thinking was my addiction because I'd done it every day. I depended on drugs and chemicals and sex and gambling and retail therapy. I depended on these things to make me feel good, to kill the emotional pain that it was going through my own body, through my own thoughts. Because I understand that now, through learning to change my thoughts, I changed the sensations and feelings and emotions in my body. My whole life changed when I changed, which was difficult. When we look at the thoughts, the way we learned to think, because we never used to think like that as children. When we became really insecure, things happened to us in our life, trauma. Certain people come into our life that we blame for doing a lot of damage to us, although they did. We continue to allow that person or situation or circumstance that happened to us to affect us for long periods of our life, due to the way we think, due to our own thoughts. To me, that was the king of all addictions, because it was my thinking that destroyed me. It caused me to resent people, it caused me to blame people, to hate people, to hurt people. My own thinking, doing other people's thinking for them, thinking I was better than other people, thinking that I couldn't achieve what I've achieved today, thinking that I couldn't play the guitar, thinking that I couldn't read and write until I was 35 years of age, thinking that I was stupid, thinking that people were better than me, thinking that the world was against me, hating the world through my thoughts, blaming the world, blaming people for what's going on in the world, which is understandable. My thinking on a daily basis it took me into mental institutions, 3 mental institutions and 16 drug and alcohol clinics. When I studied counselling at 35 years of age, when I learned to read and write, it didn't help me. Studied all different traditions, studied therapy, different therapies, psychology. And as I mentioned in other videos, it didn't help me in the sense that to give me an understanding of what happened to me as a child and growing up as a teenager. And it was blame. I kept blaming people because of my thinking. I was thinking I wasn't good enough. I couldn't do anything. I had to cheat and steal and lie. I had to tell lies to fit in and try and impress people because of my thinking. My thinking took me to, I believe through my own experience, cancer twice, arthritis, my hands, my legs, spondylitis 7 times in my face, burnt the outer lining in my stomach where they thought I was 7 months pregnant. Loads of other things have happened to me because of my thinking, because when I changed my thinking, the healing came. I learned to heal myself through taking responsibility for the thoughts that was causing the pain in my own life, which is very difficult. I know maybe people sitting there and saying, oh, but what's she done to me or what he done to me? I was abused as a child. I was a lot of abuse, mental, physical, sexually abused. I don't mind sharing that. It's that I blamed, and it kept me trapped for my whole life. The thinking of the memories, the person, the people that I blamed for hurting me. Yes, they hurt me emotionally because I didn't know any better. I didn't understand, which caused me to resent and blame and hate and despise and want to kill some people. My own thinking told me I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that because I listened as a child to other people and I believed what the other people had said to me because they were, i.e. my parents, school teachers, the priest, social workers, friends. And I believed that. I believed what other people told me because my thinking was destroying me. It was the only thing. I understand that and know that today through thousands of people I've worked with. I've helped them recognise the thoughts, the sensations it's caused in our own body because of the way I'd learned to think. And through thinking in a negative way and believing the lies my own mind was telling me, which people call the ego. We can blame the ego, we can blame Satan, we can blame the darkness, we can blame whatever I blamed. And the parents and the way I had learned. But when I took responsibility, I had no more blame. That's when I started getting well. When I finally learned to take responsibility for the way I was thinking. And I couldn't blame my past and the abuse and the assaults and the prisons and the mental institutions and the rehabs, the homelessness, begging in the street. I couldn't blame anybody else for that. But I did, and it kept me homeless. And I lost my son and my wife and my partners and friends through my own thinking. And my thinking caused me to behave in a negative manner because I became suspicious. I didn't trust myself because I didn't trust anybody else. I became paranoid, full of anxiety. I didn't want to get out of the house. My own thinking. There's people who's watching this and listening to us who have experienced what I've experienced. You'll understand when we take responsibility for our own thinking, which is to me is the king of addiction, we depend on other things to make us happy, to take away the emotional pain that we have caused for our own thoughts. And that's why we run to chemicals, and because the emotions that we experience, there's over 300 different emotions. So they say, it's just an emotion, it's a sensation I call it. Because when you change the thought, the sensation changes. Your experience will tell you that. And all you have is experience, all I have is experience. I don't share for books. I only share from my experience of hurting and suffering and wanting to take my own life. And working with thousands of people, as I keep mentioning, who are honest and open with me, that I still see today, still contact me 20 years later. Because being truthful to yourself and other people in a nice manner helps them immensely. Being authentic, to me, is the key. The fear of other people was through my own thinking, worrying what other people were thinking of me. I didn't like myself, I didn't love myself, and I was suspicious and paranoid of other people through my own thinking, just my thinking. It caused a lot of pain in my body, every part of my body. We know that, even doctors and scientists will tell you negativity doesn't help at all. But I learned to be negative. I lost that innocence as a child, and I started conforming to the ways of the world and doing everything everybody else did so that I could fit in and be liked. That was my thinking, it was telling me these things. Please believe me, there's nobody standing there beside us telling us what we should and shouldn't do. They might be doing that, but it's up to us. We have a choice whether we do the things that others want us to do, because we have the fear of saying no. Because we're already doing their thinking for them. And believing that if I say no, then they'll not like me, or they'll think this, or they will think that. So we become people pleasers. I learned to please other people rather than please myself. And then after I'd pleased the person, I would go away and hurt and punish myself for not being brave, are courageous enough just to say, no, I don't want to do it. And I don't need to justify why I said no, or why I say yes. I did years ago. Today it's just yes and no. People don't understand that, they don't like that, the honesty, the simplicity of being honest and truthful. And all the hurt came from me not being true to myself. The damage to my body came from me not being true to myself because of my thinking. Please believe me, the thoughts create a horrible, horrible feeling in our body, which scientists and others call feelings and emotions. It's a sensation that can heal you or kill you through your own thinking. We know that. If you look at your friends, and look at who you saw as positive people, getting into negative people, it was actually something that happened in our life, a circumstance we've never faced before, a situation, a place, people harming us, abusing us, torturing us, the things that people do through their own thoughts and believing the thinking. Yes, I paid my karma for the wrongs that I've done in my life, and I've made my amends to those that I've wronged. Best amends I made was to myself, to learn to like myself, even for the mistakes I made. It can bring me here today to sit in my house and share in front of a wee camera to help other people, sharing my experience. I can only give away what I've learned through my own experience. Through that you'll identify, hopefully, the feelings and emotions, triggers that set us off to think in a certain way, and we don't seem to recognise. I need to catch that thought. I need to stop thinking like that and catch it. It might take you an hour, 2 hours a day, but the more you practice challenging yourself, which I'll go into later on, because it's a thought that creates a sensation and an energy. And you know that because you've experienced that, because when you're having happy, kind thoughts, how do you feel inside? How does your body feel when people say nice things to you and you're doing a nice deed for someone? How does it make your body feel? How is your thinking? And then when someone wronged you through your expectation of what that person should have done or should not have done, or what that person should have said or not have said, because we all live by a set of standards, values and morals and ethics which we learned to keep us safe. We also learned in our home and environment, and we expect other people to behave, think and act like us, and when they don't, we get annoyed. But I'll get into that later on as well. Because when we understand through simplicity and honesty, you can change. It's the thinking. We know that. There's been thousands of people throughout the years been telling us, but not explaining. The only thing that keeps you trapped is the fear of letting go, forgiving, which is difficult. To forgive others and to forgive yourself. You have no badness, you have no hurt, no pain in your body. Your body is clear, it's healing now, because we're taking responsibility. And it's down to that forgiveness for not knowing. I know nothing about the universe, I know nothing about the word God. I have not met God. I have not known any human being to have met God, or sat down, maybe had a cup of tea. I know there's something there, powerful. It works through us and in us. And when we go against the love and compassion the way we were born as innocent children, then we hurt. But it's part of a so-called journey that we're on, is to unlearn the things that we learned as children that are prohibiting us and stopping us from loving ourselves and loving other people. Because we blame people for the hurt. I blamed everybody in my past for hurting me in the present, and I had to stop. And I stopped and I changed my thinking and challenged my thinking and understood that I'd learned to think this way, to fit in, to be liked, to try and impress other people. And it was lies I was telling, words coming out of my mouth that you can't see but you can hear. And that's how you know it's an energy inside you that can heal you or destroy us through our fear of other people, which changes our patterns of thinking, where we want to be liked and we want to be loved. Challenge the thoughts. It's the only thing that's ever going to hurt you, and the only person that's ever going to hurt you is you, and that's through the way we think. And we can justify it, dress it up, blame the past, blame people in the past. You will do as I done, my friends. You will stay trapped. You will stay trapped. I know forgiveness is difficult, but it's the key. It's the only way you'll set free. It's like a hook, a fishing hook, and all the perpetrators and all the people we hate are on that fishing hook, but you're on that hook as well, because you feel the pain every time we think about them, see them. Our memories come up, and it's sore, and that fishing hook is sore. And the only way I knew how to get off of that hook was to let the perpetrators off first, and then I could let myself off, and that's what I've done. And there's no more pain anymore. That doesn't mean I send them text messages or Christmas cards. There's just no badness in my heart. I understood why they done it, because I understood why I became a thief, a liar, a con man, a drug dealer, a money lender, wanting to be a hard pat person, a gangster as I was in Glasgow, because of the fear of other people. I wanted people to, for a reputation, that would stay clear of me because of my anger and my violence. And it took me a long time to recognise that, and to change the way I think, the way I speak, the way I behave. And it's not hard, it's difficult, because we're going against the grain, we're going against the things that we learned, that we believed to be normal. And that's the way we think, my friends, how we think about ourselves, the lies, how we can do that to ourselves is unbelievable. Bring ourselves down into depression, where we're on medication again, attempted suicides, we've lost friends and family through the thinking. My sister, bless her, took her own life. She had schizophrenia, but there's other things involved in that, and I've lost 4 or 5 friends who've took their own life. It was all through the damage it had done to us as children, and we didn't know how to repair it. And we can go to counselling, therapy and psychologists, but we need to go to the root, which is the fear of being open and honest with yourself, and then having that ability to do that with other people. And that comes when we change our thinking. That's where the healing comes from, when we change our thoughts and take responsibility. And I know it's difficult, but I know you can do it. And I'll come back again with another wee short video, but please try and take on board that the only thing that's ever going to hurt you is the way we think. Stop doing other people's thinking for them. We can't see, and people haven't got glass heads, we can't see what they're thinking. We need to learn compassion, and first of all it's to ourselves. We were born with compassion, we were born in the truth, because children always speak the truth. We didn't know what lies was until we learned them. So we need to stop lying to ourselves through our own thinking and take responsibility. And I know you'll do it, because I've done it and thousands of other people do it. Challenge it, challenge yourself, and you'll see what I mean. The courage lies inside you. It's just tapping into that and saying, no more, I've had no more of this. Challenge it, change it, change your friends, change your playmates, change your play school. Read uplifting books, watch people on YouTube who are spiritually well, and you will see it's all down to the thinking. So for me, thinking is the king of all addictions. Drugs and alcohol and that is a dependency that we depend on to kill the emotions, which is caused by our thinking. I know that would be in 16 drug and alcohol clinics throughout my life. When I changed my thinking, I'm 28 years coming up, I've never bothered with it. I've lost my closest best friends, my grandpa, my mum, my dad, my sister, my brother. They've all went before me, but I talk to them and I see them and I feel them, and that's how I know there's something there greater than me, but I know nothing of. I just feel, and that's all I've experienced. And I thank you so much for listening in, and I hope that wee video helped you, and I'll come back to you later on with some more in my journey, my experience of working with others, and their experiences that they've shared with me. So thank you kindly for listening, thank you kindly for watching. Namaste, my friends, peace, thank you all, and have a lovely time, and I'll speak soon. Thank you.